before there was Meet Kevin, before there was Tom Nash, you had a different crowd of these guys on YouTube. Namely this guy. Now, I know this whole guy's fucking song and dance. You might have gathered that because take a look at this picture. You can see it's 2013. Now, I didn't make this picture. He made this picture, I believe. I guess he's proud of this picture. And so let me just give you some context. I didn't even need to prepare for this. And I wanted to do this stream now. Of course, this video, somebody asked about him in the comment section. And I'm very familiar with this fraud. Very familiar. And I'll tell you why here in a second. But I knew I already had a pretty good dossier on this guy. And in fact, I've got a lot of his old videos somewhere. I haven't even looked. I just looked quickly. And I've got some pictures. So this guy, let me just explain to you. So you all probably don't know this, but right around the COVID situation, this is when a lot of these fraudsters, these YouTube investment gurus popped up. Many of them popped up and many of them changed course. They were doing something else. They started doing the stocks. For instance, Paul Gabriel, Everything Money, another fucking scam artist, clueless clown. They were doing real estate, right? And they were getting no views. So before, 2020, specifically, the period after the financial crisis, let's say 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you had people like this guy, Mannarino, and I forgot about him. He's still on YouTube. Okay. And nobody knows what I'm going to tell you about this guy. Guaranteed. Okay. Guaranteed. This guy basically was in the gold pumping crowd. He was in the gold pumping crowd. He catered to the doomsday. He's part of the whole Peter Schiff, fear-mongering, doomsday bullshit. So he repeated a lot of the Peter Schiff doomsday phrases and so forth. Oh, the Fed is bad. The market's going to collapse. And if you take a look at this clown's channel, which is what we're going to do here shortly, because I already looked at it quickly, you'll see that he only has videos from 7 years ago. That would be what, 2018 or so? But I remember videos from like 2012, and I probably had those videos. He hid all those videos. He's like, what's the guy's name? AMTV, Green, that guy, another fraud. I've covered that guy. It reminds me, complete fraud. So here's what happens on YouTube, in case you all don't know. Two things. The first thing is YouTube is great for frauds because you know why? There's no permanent fucking track record. There's no permanent footprint. You see? If you have a website, everything is recorded forever. Right? Everything is recorded forever. You can check the Wayback Machine. YouTube, you can change everything. You can change your description. You can hide your videos. You understand? So you can hide everything. YouTube is perfect for criminals. And YouTube knows this. YouTube's a criminal enterprise. Of course they know this. They created it this way. And you don't think that YouTube could make it where you couldn't alter things, right? Graham Stephan we saw and all these other fraudsters, they changed, they deleted, they removed traces of cryptocurrency endorsements and links from their description, video descriptions, right? Graham Stephan has spliced out his endorsements of FTX from his videos, as I've shown. I'm the only person probably that has those videos. How come people don't want to come to me and ask me and talk to me, right? Folks, do you understand why? I'm the dangerous guy. You understand? I mean, think about it. Who wouldn't beg to talk to me and interview me? Top guy of the financial crisis. Probably the top investment analyst in the world. Certainly one of the top handful. And nobody wants to talk. Why is that? Because everybody on YouTube, even the guys that claim that they're legit and they want to, they're all frauds. And they know I'm going to fucking call them out. They're afraid. How do you know that? How do you think I know this? Folks, I've been living this whole narrative, this whole line for 15 years. Okay? I mean, think about it for a second. Those of you who have been wise enough to take the time and at least go through the track record of the financial crisis, the chapters. And, unfortunately, many of you probably still don't appreciate that material because you really just don't know. Hopefully there's somebody that's worked in the financial industry that's listening who will have an idea, at least maybe if they've worked a while back. Okay? There's nobody in the world. I'll bet you a quadrillion fucking dollars, a gazillion, billion, willion. You make up the fucking amount. Nobody in the world can match my track record on the financial crisis. That's a fact. And I'll give you a gazillion to one odds. And I'll bet you $1 zillion. Okay? You understand? And I've been making this claim for a long time. Nobody can match my track record on the financial crisis. In fact, and I'm saying this, by the way, why? Once again, for some of you newbies out there, you all don't know what the hell's going on. It's important to know who the fuck you're listening to. Okay? If you've got somebody of the highest credibility, well, you're going to be listening to them very carefully. You're going to be giving them the benefit of the doubt. Whatever they say, you're going to believe it until it's proven otherwise, right? You understand? You're not going to ask me to prove every little thing. Well, then you got to prove it for me. No, I don't have to do shit for you. You don't think it's enough? You go look into it yourself. Okay? Unlike everyone else on YouTube whose videos are fucking useless and you watch them and it's gone, anybody that comes across my stuff, listen, folks, the video that you're going to watch today or tomorrow, it just happens to be timing. You happen to have watched that video that day. It doesn't mean the other videos, the older videos, are less relevant. They're all relevant. My material is timeless. All of my material is that way. That's the way I am. There's no news bits or anything. So the best thing you can do is watch all my videos. Okay? Unlike everybody else on YouTube whose videos are going to be, completely shit. Not everybody, but most everybody. So understand that. Okay? And also understand, for you newbies out there, you don't form an impression about something, my position, solely on one video. Okay? Especially if it's something kind of a big topic, right? Because obviously I'm sure I've talked about it in the past many times, and I can't cover my full position in one video. Okay? So I have not slept, but about a 14-hour time difference from Eastern Standard Time. I'm very tired. But I wanted to do this stream now because I don't know if I'll get to it again on this guy. I haven't thought about this guy. And it's very easy for me to tackle because I know this guy very well. And to be honest with you, I just thought, people would forget. I mean, the problem is that there's a lot of people that know that have been on YouTube and have just forgotten about this guy. I can guarantee you there are thousands of people, if you ask them, oh, this guy, this fucking lunatic. They don't even watch him anymore. You can imagine he's been on YouTube for 15 years, and he was promoted on a daily basis by one of these kingpins. USA Watchdog, Greg Hunter. He was a kingpin, a gold-pumping kingpin. In other words, one of these guys that interviews all these gold pumpers, and everything is doom and gloom. So he got a big following. He got the whole gold pumping following. Yet he still only has 300,000 subscribers after 15 years and getting promotion every fucking day. Right? Why? He hasn't grown. It's very slow growth because he's only getting newer people that don't know this. He's a fraud. You see? That's the deal. His churn is large. And he's only able to get new subscribers, this Mannarino, when, you're getting the dumbest of the dumb. The newest, dumbest of the dumb. You see? Oh, I know it was Christopher Green. Christopher Green does the same thing. He's got Tom Nash, right? So Christopher Green, you can look him up, AMTV, complete fraudster, bullshit story, complete liar. He's like Alex Jones fraudster type. His whole story, I should go over it sometime. He has deleted probably 10 years of videos. He's been on YouTube since 2010 or so. Folks, so many fucking losers, they lost their job after the financial crisis. They go to YouTube and they claim this and this and this, and but they just do the whole bullshit. But Christopher Green, absolute fraudster. He's deleted so many years. Why? Because he was there making Alex Jones type videos. Oh, the market's going to collapse. Oh, hyperinflation. Oh, he doesn't want people to know his history. Same thing with Mannarino. Okay. And fortunately, the laptop that I'm on doing this stream is one of my newer laptops. It's a couple of years old. And what that means is that I'm obviously not going to have, a lot of material from 10 years ago on this laptop. Okay. It's going to be mainly on my external hard drives. But fortunately, I do have some images from about 2015, 2014 to give you an example of some of the horse shit this guy was saying. Okay. Now, this guy strikes a bell. It's interesting. Once again, you all probably don't know this. Some of you might know it, but most of you probably don't know. There was a huge gold pumping scene about 15 years ago. Okay? That was what was mainly dominating YouTube, was the whole gold pumping scene. Because that one was when Peter Schiff was on the rampage. He was getting interviewed every day, and people thought, they didn't realize he was a fucking broken clock clown. His subscribers still don't realize it. They're mentally fucking ill. So you had this whole gold pumping, and Peter Schiff is the kingpin of the doomsday movement. And of course, Peter knows who I am. He's very familiar with me. I'm the world's authority on this guy. Nobody has got this guy's number better than me. I've got his whole track record down. He fears me. He would never, ever go on a neutral platform. Ever. Against me. Peter Schiff is like all these charlatans. They know that their power comes from perception. Reality, they can't handle the truth. That's why Peter Schiff is never going to go up against anybody that's going to slap him down. You see? He profits from propaganda and horse shit, like many of these guys do. You understand? Any of these people, folks, I'm telling you, contact any of these motherfuckers. Patrick Bet-David, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson. You're going to hear nothing from them or some horse shit. I'm obviously a person that's got a lot to say. I'm obviously a high-level guy, an interesting person, right? Honest. I'm for the people. Why wouldn't someone want to talk to me? The same reason why 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't want to talk to me, the alternative media guys that were pushing nutritional supplements, when I have, I've basically taught biochemistry. Okay. Right. Because they don't want somebody credible. They want someone who, first of all, is anxious enough to get promoted that they'll kind of walk the line. And second of all, they don't want someone who really knows what's going on. They don't want someone too intelligent, you see. Because if they're too intelligent, then they can't be manipulated by the host. That's what Alex Jones does all the time. He like, oh well, he kind of leads the people. If you've noticed that, it's so obvious. The guy's he's like the least. He has no talent as an interviewer or radio host. He obviously leads people into what he wants them to say, and of course, the host will naturally, subconsciously, kind of go that way, just because of it's kind of a subconscious courtesy, right? But anyway, so this guy Mannarino. And this is what a lot of these people do. This is one of the ploys that these fraudsters do. Is they will basically say whatever they need to say to get promoted. In fact, you've got a guy. Martin Armstrong does that. I did a prelim on. I haven't released the preliminary on Armstrong. Total fraud, absolute one of the biggest frauds out there. But what these people were doing during the gold pumping mania is, for instance, Nomi Prinz, another con artist scammer. She would come out and, oh yeah, endorse gold. Yeah, you need gold. The market's going to collapse, right? Because why? Because then she got into the gold pumping circuit, and she was getting interviewed all over the place so she could sell her fucking useless books. You see, this is what these people do, right? This is what these people do. I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if it's gold or cryptocurrency. You see? You understand. The pumpers, the crypto pumpers, the gold pumpers get their stooge, right, to do their bidding, to pump their shit, and the stooge gets promoted so he can sell his dog shit. It's the media business model, folks. It's the same thing on CNBC. Don't you understand? Once again, we're talking ad-based content. It's a fucking scam. Okay? Maybe I should apply for a PhD in media strategy, just based upon my knowledge I already have. I think I would be given one. So this guy got all his followers from the gold pumping scene. That's what you got to understand, first of all. Most of the people, now over time, he probably has some people that aren't gold pumpers and gold bugs, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But many of the people, the legacy people that follow this guy, are from the gold pumping kingpins, the gold bugs. Okay, that's how he got his followers. During that time, and this is why he was removed most of these videos back from 2018 before. Why? He was always talking about the market collapsing. Okay, but finally he's like, oh well, now he's pumping the market to some degree, and he has his little trading calls, which is a complete fraud. I'll get into his whole business model here shortly. Okay, but I just want to give you a background on this guy so you can understand. When you're dealing with gold bugs, you have to understand this is amongst the dumbest, least educated people out there. Just generally speaking, okay? People that are gold bugs, they're generally uneducated and quite fucking stupid. It's just a fact. So they're easily fooled. These are people who buy into these Federal Reserve conspiracies and all this nonsense, and they're focused on this whole, their focus is, New World Order and this, and it's conspiracy, like this idiot that left a comment on one of my videos. You should do a video on why the U.S. dollar is a scam. In fact, I should show you guys. I left a comment on there because he's some 21-year-old fucking disturbed kid, some weirdo snowflake. And I looked at his channel. I should show you guys. It's so funny. I mean, it just tells you the problems with this Gen Z. He makes a video. Yeah, I'm doing good. My net worth is $10,000, and I'm thinking like, dude, you're fucking 21. What are you doing focusing on money? What is your fucking problem? Why do you have a scam tube channel? What's going on with these kids? They're mentally deranged. Let me find it, actually. Let me find it. It's hilarious. And so, of course, and this is why I made the rules about commenting on my videos, the 10 rules, which some of you probably haven't heard them. I'll have to repeat them, I suppose. 1 comment, no questions, stick to the topic, no horse shit. No talking about cryptocurrencies, gold, talking about day trading, trading options, any of that horse shit, those scams. No, that's not going to be, you're not going to infect my fucking channel with that horse shit. You're not going to create my content. You're not going to use my content as a means by which to turn it into a platform for promoting horse shit. You all understand what I'm saying. The same reason why I don't want any live chats. This is not an entertainment venue for what if you all to come in here and feel good and talk to people and no, this is fucking class in session. I'm the fucking professor. Okay? What do you do when you're at lecture and a professor? You sit down, you shut up, you take notes. That's what you do. Okay? You don't go in and blabber around. Okay? So, I'm not, you want to talk about stupid nonsense, cryptocurrencies, and the dollar's a scam and all this stupid crap, go take that somewhere else. Okay? Because remember, I'm not here to build a channel, to build a cult, to monetize, to sell you fucking courses. I'm here for the fucking truth. Because someday, somebody has saved my videos, and someday down long into the future, I have a feeling people will be talking about me and what I tried to do. Okay? Thank God I formed a publishing company. Didn't do self-publishing. This is before Amazon was launched, their self-publishing. I had to form a publishing company, get my own ISBN numbers, and I published my books quickly to get them out in a timely manner for the financial crisis. Fortunately, that's the record that's going to be there forever. That's my legacy right there. So even though I've been banned, ignored, I've been completely defrauded for what's happened to me. And the problem with that is that causes you guys to suffer. It causes the world to suffer. Main Street. But at least I've got that. I was wise enough to take care of that. So another thing, let me just mention, I'm just kind of looking at this. Someone's saying, under this Meet Kevin video, it'd be helpful to me if you could show things he said and how it was wrong. For example, if he said buy this stock on such and such date, and then the stock crashed, you got anything like that? I mean, do you think a world fucking expert is going to go through and scan all of Kevin's videos? And when I know the guy's a fraud, I mean, you're fucking delusional, boy. Do it yourself. That's why I say, folks, the most important thing you can do is to familiarize yourself with my credibility. When you do that, and I said, look, this guy's a scammer, okay? You're going to take it. Okay, I don't need to do some little detailed, right? That's grunt work. That's for people who don't have any fucking insight. You go do it. Okay? I've seen enough. It's amazing when you're following somebody, you've seen so much over, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Like, you've seen so many examples. They want you to go and document it all. What's wrong with these fucking people? Something's wrong with their fucking brain. What am I working for you? The more time you spend online, on the internet, and especially on your dumb phone, the dumber you're going to be, the more screwed up your head's going to be. That's fact. Let's get back to our feature of the day, Gregory Mannarino, because I know most of you don't know about this guy. So here's the thing that struck me about this guy. I remember hearing about this, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years ago. This guy's byline, basically, he comes out and says, and he's got like this speech impediment that's worse than Patrick Boyle's, by the way. And, but he comes out, his whole story is how he used to work for the trading arm of Bear Stearns. Okay. And the guy is obviously not too, let me just be kind to him. He's not exactly the sharpest knife in the fucking drawer. Okay. And so, and I told people, somebody asked me about this. Somebody asked me many years ago, and I said, look, I've seen this guy. He wouldn't be hired as a janitor at Bear Stearns. They're not going to hire an idiot like this guy. He's too stupid. It's that simple. Okay. And the other thing is that he said that his whole story was he started his career at Bear Stearns. Bear Stearns doesn't have a training program. They don't have a training fucking program. They're one of the few firms that doesn't have a training program. You see? You can't start out at Bear Stearns. You have to come already experienced from another firm. Okay? And so what I did as well, because I used to work at Bear Stearns, is I had an employee manual. So anyway, I went through the manual. You see, because I had an employee manual. Okay? An employee manual, employee handbook, an address book after I left Bear Stearns. See, here's the thing. This guy comes out after the financial crisis, a few years after, and claims he worked for Bear Stearns. After the firm is no longer around. So you can claim anything, right? You can claim you worked at a firm that's no longer there. How are you going to check on it? You can't check on it, can you? Well, guess what? I still had my employee handbook, my employee manual, that listed every single employee at Bear Stearns, listed where they were, their phone number, so on and so forth. Okay? Not only that, I also asked other employees. I mean, you listen to the guy, he's obviously a fucking idiot. There's no way he worked at Bear Stearns. There's no way he can't, I worked he claims he worked on the trading floor. It's just fucking, it's just fucking ridiculous, okay? And on top of that, you're going to have some type of license. He was not licensed at all, ever. I checked at all this shit just to make sure. So that's his whole story. If you go to his YouTube channel now, he still repeats all this because, see, why is he doing this? This is how he wants to get credibility. You see, you can tell with his bio, he's trying to make it look, like he's done something. Oh, I've got a global following. I worked at Bear Stearns. Right? Why? Because he doesn't have anything to show you. That's another telltale sign of how to spot a scammer. They're giving you superficial things. Like me, for instance. You ever hear me going, I worked here all the time and I've got an Ivy League degree. That's not, I say that on YouTube just because, so people don't just think I'm some fucking nobody. Okay, but other than YouTube, even now on my website, I never posted any of that shit. Okay, never. I'm only posting this now because after I expose these fucking grifters, they want to come out and talk shit and make up stuff about me. Okay? You understand? I don't use superficial things to show my value. I've got a fucking track record, and it's goddamn good. You see? That's what I do to show my value. So you can see this guy, his whole thing, he claims to have worked at Bear Stearns. Okay? He didn't do it. So that's right from the get-go, he's a fraud and is a liar. And I challenge you, Greg, by the way, because he's going to hear this video, and make sure he does. He's going to hear this live stream. Make sure he does. Hey, Greg, you probably know who I am because back many years ago, there was someone out there saying you're full of shit. Okay, it was me. Prove it, Mannarino. You prove it. Because I'm willing to bet you any amount of money that you didn't. Now, here's the other thing that's interesting about this guy. Let me go on to another. And so you can see. So take a look here. See that 2016? You're not going to find this video on his channel. You can go look right now. This is when he's pumping gold, trying to pump it desperately. Right? Everything is going to make gold go up. No, actually didn't go up. Okay? It didn't. Contrarian indicator, broken clock contrarian indicator, like all these guys. Here's the other thing, is that he also wants to tell you that he's got a medical license and he practices medicine. So think about that. If someone says they have a medical license and they a medical degree as well and they practice medicine, what do you think that means? What does that mean to you? Well, to me, it means that they're a physician. Okay? That's what it means to me. If you're saying I have a medical degree, medical license, and I practice medicine, to me that means they're a physician. Guess what? He was a physician assistant. Okay? He was a nurse. Okay? So my point there is, why is he being opaque? Why is he, you can tell he's a con man. He's not coming out and telling you exactly what he did. He's trying to make it seem like he's more important than he is. You see? It's a telltale sign. And then the other thing is that, okay, so apparently he worked at Bear Stearns, he claims, on the trading floor. And by the way, let me just mention, this tells you right now how stupid this guy is. He's like these guys that say, oh, I worked on the trading floor. Folks, trading floor, do you all understand that working on a trading floor doesn't mean you know how to trade? Those guys don't trade. You understand that, right? And by the way, the trading floors are pretty much, for the most part, gone now. They're pretty much non-existent. They're almost completely gone now because of computerized trading. Okay? But trading floor, you all understand what that is? It's a bunch of fucking grunting guys hooting and hollering, trying to fill their orders for their book. You understand? They're just shouting to fill the book orders. Buy, sell. You think they're fucking looking at charts? Floor traders don't know how to fucking trade. They're just fucking filling orders. Okay? That's all it is. They're not doing anything. And of course, that's, I bring that up because the Nigerian knuckleheads, Pete and John Nigerian, who were on CNBC before they got axed, they got canceled because they were promoting crypto trading and telling everyone to buy basically Voyager Digital days before it collapsed on CNBC. But that doesn't matter. They're of the privileged class, so they're on Fox now. And of course, they do the whole media scam. The media scam where you get on there and you blabber, and the media tells everyone that you're an expert, and you go along with it, and you just blabber, pretend like you're an expert, and people get to know you, and they think you're an expert, and from that you launch your businesses, right? They've launched 2 or 3 trading services and sold them and made a ton of money because stupid people believe that they knew how to trade. And their trading services, from all I can tell, from what I've seen, have been fucking largely a scam. Complete horseshit. And I know for a fact their latest one was engaging in marketing fraud because I saw it with my own 2 fucking eyes. In fact, I called the SEC on these motherfuckers and they changed what they were doing. Yeah, that's right, knuckleheads. Don't fuck with me. Boom! I've gotten so many of these motherfuckers in trouble. They don't even know. Kevin's next, by the way. You're next, Kevin, bitch boy. See, Kevin's licensed now. He's licensed, you see. He can be sued. Spread the word. Go on forums. Go on fucking Reddit. Spread the word about Kevin. He can be sued easily. If you lose money listening to anything Kevin says, you don't even have to have been a paid client. You can sue his ass. Okay? You can sue him. I'm telling you, folks. This is why it's important for people to create some type of a portal to post information about Kevin, data, to keep files on this guy, to sue this guy. He thinks he's smart getting licensed. He can make so much more money. He doesn't understand the fucking liability. I mean, it's pretty goddamn stupid to get licensed. Why do you think I'm no longer licensed? Why would I be licensed? You should only be licensed if you're selling securities. I would say he's probably going to open a investment firm and sell securities eventually. But there's no way anyone should ever get licensed unless they're going to sell securities. It's just stupid. You're opening yourself up to liability. Your freedom of speech is potentially restricted. I mean, it's just dumb to do that. So he can be sued um, easily. And trust me, folks. See, I know how the whole legal system works in the financial industry, the securities industry. I know that whole deal. It's unlike any other industry. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little a quickie here. In the financial world, what happens typically when there's lawsuits, and a lot of the lawsuits against the brokers are fucking bullshit. Obviously, some are legitimate, right? Some are legitimate. You got brokers that churn, brokers that do some bad things, but a lot of them are usually dog shit. Why? Because basically what happens is that if you lose money and you're with if you're with a discount broker, forget it. There's no liability. That's why the discount broker model is perfect, because they don't have any liability essentially. Full service firm, major liability. So if you lose money, then there could be an issue. And what happens typically, the big firms, they'll just settle because it's too expensive to carry on a legal battle. So if it's not a big amount of money, they'll just settle with the plaintiff attorney. They'll just settle. Why am I saying this? Because if you're not with the big firm, if you're someone like Kevin, then you're basically counting on your insurance, your errors and omissions insurance, okay? And, you're also going to have some other type of protection. But you're going to have your own legal staff. See, if you're working at Morgan Stanley and you're a broker there, then you don't have to worry about it. You're covered. They're going to cover you. Their whole legal team is going to defend you. Okay, that can be good. It can be bad. But it can be bad because if you're not guilty, they may just want to settle, and it looks bad on your record. That happens all the time. Someone like Kevin, well, the attorney's not going to settle, right? You see, so they're it's a different situation. Anyway, so let's get back to
Gregory Mannarino.
So he calls himself the Robin Hood of Wall Street.
Robin Hood, huh? The only problem, Greg, is that you don't work on Wall Street, and based upon what you've claimed, you never have. You never worked at Bear Stearns. You were never a trader at Bear Stearns. You claim that you started your career on Wall Street at Bear Stearns. Bear Stearns does not have a training program, never has. Bear Stearns is a firm where you transfer to after having been trained. You're a liar. I looked up the Bear Stearns employee handbook, the address book from several years, and you weren't in it. I asked around to many individuals in Bear Stearns, including the New York office, and they didn't hear of you. They don't know about you. In addition to that, you're too stupid and clueless to be a trader, and I don't think they'd even hire you as a financial advisor.
So there you have it, folks. There you have it. This video, actually, I made it. I forgot about it. I didn't even post it on my website. I found it in my hosting library. So anyway, take a look at this. So this is you can see this is back in 2015. This is one of his videos. Once again, I challenge you to find this video on his YouTube channel. And by the way, he's in the past he'll use these excuses that his channel's been hacked. That's why he lost his videos. That's what he says. That's his excuse. I mean, this guy's so fucking stupid and predictable. You can ask him. So what happened to all your old videos? I was hacked. Okay. Global banking crisis worsens. Stocks dive. And you can see what happens. Take a look. This is exactly when he's pointing this out, and what happens. He nailed the bottom without knowing it. When he's scaring people, right? He's scaring people, and that's the bottom. You see that? Now, a perfect storm. Expect stocks to fall, gold to rise, right? See that? This is the whole thing this guy has been doing year after year. This is why he hit all these videos. What happened? What happened? Well, you can see on the chart here. Stocks fall how much? I can't even read this. It's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, right? And then what happens? Stocks pop. The Dow pops. It pops higher than where it was. You understand? What this guy does is, here's his whole theme, by the way. Not, I don't know what he's thinking, where this Elvis look came from, but the game is rigged, right? This whole, and remember, this is a guy that, keep in mind, this is a guy, noted, granted he was getting promoted by lunatics and fraudsters like USA Watchdog. That was his channel name. Greg Hunter, I think he still has his website. And he's a kingpin, gold pumping promoter. He probably got his channel removed during COVID for saying, COVID's conspiracies or something like that. But, I mean, I'm sitting here, I get ignored completely all these years, folks. You'll be hard-pressed to find ever an interview, right, me being interviewed. That's why I'm saying the more you look into my credibility, you're going to be like, holy shit, this guy's he's the most fucking censored person in the history of the world. Like, why is no one asking me about anything? I'm the guy that predicted the financial crisis. I'm the guy that has been recommending NVIDIA for more than 15 years. Nobody knew what the fucking NVIDIA was 5 years ago. Many people didn't know what it was 2 years ago. Okay? The cost basis just for a buy and hold strategy for my research for NVIDIA is 25 cents a share. Same with Netflix. Okay? Of course, we do active management. It's much lower than that because the accuracy on the active management is pretty spectacular. But ask yourself, I mean, a person who writes a book telling people to short Blockbuster and buy Netflix in 2008, predicting a bankruptcy for Blockbuster, and Blockbuster went bankrupt 2 years later? You understand who you're dealing with here? Nobody's ever made these fucking calls. And you're not going to you'll never hear anyone interviewing me. Why is that? Why is that? Think about that. Okay? Think about that. Why do you think I never deal with fucking YouTube and all that horse shit? I deal with intelligent people. I don't even market. I've never spent a single fucking penny on advertising or marketing. You know why? Here's what happens. Intelligent people will come to me. Okay? They'll find out about me somehow. I'm not a whole lot of people. But they'll find out about me and they'll look on my website and they'll check my track record. They'll do their own due diligence. And the people that come to me are the ones that have, they've done all that work. Those are the people who are going to succeed in investing. They're doing the legwork. You understand? That's the exact opposite of how everyone else works. Everyone else is spending all their time in sales and marketing. That's where they're spending all their time. And they're doing that to suck people in. It's, as they say in Texas, all hat and no show. You understand? Anyone who's spending time blabbering is not doing the research. Nobody on YouTube does any fucking research. Okay? They're not capable of it, and no one does it. And someone who claims to be an analyst, if they're on YouTube, their job's not going well. They wouldn't be on YouTube otherwise. Okay? Okay? So here we go. Here's the USA Watchdog, this Greg Hunter. See that guy? Greg Hunter. And his channel was USA Watchdog. I think he changed it later on. But you can check website. I'm sure, I'm quite positive. I can look right now. And I'm quite positive if I type in USA Watchdog, stupid name. And these guys are like, they're like, oh, we're patriots. We're truthers. I'm the real truther. I'm the real patriot. I'm the guy that exposed all this shit, the free trade, why aren't you all talking to me? The reason why, folks, is they're frauds. Their only agenda is to scare people, fearmonger, and push gold because they're getting paid by gold dealers. Okay? That's who they're getting funded by, through advertisements, through endorsements. You see? Yeah, USA Watchdog, complete fraudster. You can take a look for yourself. His website. Take a look at that. System already failed and coming apart. This is 2016, right? Okay. And why do you think he deleted these videos? Markets break support, high potential for loss. It's the same thing every fucking day, right? Federal Reserve is planning a controlled crash. Here's how. Alex Jones type of shit, right? More evidence of imminent stock market crash. You see? So this all plays into the whole gold pumper thing. The market's going to crash. Buy gold. Market's going to crash. Buy gold. These people are disgusting scammers because they actually caused a lot of people to miss the longest bull market in U.S. history. You understand that, right? And the most disgusting thing about it is the cult members of these guys. They don't even realize that these guys cost them money. It's like that person I showed you the comment on Meet Kevin, that idiot that admits that they bought FTX because of Kevin. And they didn't blame Kevin. It's not Kevin's fault. It's the SEC's fault for not doing their job. And this person is so stupid to realize, wait a second, why is it the SEC's job to regulate FTX when people want cryptocurrencies because they're not regulated? This is how stupid people are. They're so stupid, like, I can't say what I want done to them on Scam2. For the betterment of the human population. Let's see if we can find that actually. Here we go. No. Yeah, here we go. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. I showed this on a stream. Dude, I got into FTX because of the offer that you suggested. So, in other words, Kevin made money off of some type of an affiliate link. Okay? And I lost money. However, I've never once thought to blame you. It's a risky assets, and it's not like you control FTX. Who we need to blame is the SEC and Congress for not doing their jobs, and SBF for being a cheat. And you see how stupid this guy is, or girl, or whatever. Yeah, a girl. This is the typical YouTube community. This is the typical idiot. Now, I guarantee you this girl thinks that she's smart because most of these people have Dunning-Kruger. Why do you think, folks, you think a person like me is going to want to go on YouTube? I have value I can't help these people. No one can help these people. No one. Only God. So let's get back to Mannarino here. Controlled crash. The Fed's going to make a controlled crash, right? Imminent stock crash. Okay. Here we go. Debt bubble is cracking. Millions will die. This is kind of like Christopher Green, AMTV, which I need to do a stream on this guy. Absolute fraud. You can't even believe the scams this guy's up to. Same thing. So many people called this guy out. They've forgotten about him, and he's recycled through people that don't even know his history because he's deleted all the old videos. You see, this is why YouTube is the perfect platform for scammers. Here's an example of, on his little bullshit site. So what he does is this. he hides and this guy changes and removes his bad calls. I've caught him doing it. A lot of people have caught him doing it. Even here, what he does is that he makes it sound like his calls were actually good when they're a joke. They're terrible. You see, this takes advantage of stupid people who are just going to believe whatever they hear. Okay. And so his whole business model basically is, okay, I got this website and I'm going to post my trades and it's free. It's free. So what he does is he knows that he can't sell his shit because people are going to lose their ass. So he basically comes out like, it's free. Oh, buy my books. Support me. He begs. You see? I'll show you that later. So here's the Seeking Alpha bio. Notice the ambiguous language I talked about earlier. And, of course, he claims that he worked for the trading arm. I mean, I don't understand what he's talking about. The trading arm? What's the trading arm? I worked at Bear Stearns. There's no fucking trading arm, you stupid idiot. What are you talking about? The trading arm? Bear Stearns was known as a trading firm. He acts like Bear Stearns had this like big retail division and then a trading arm. Folks, let me explain to you Bear Stearns. Okay? Bear Stearns was one of the most powerful brokerage firms in the world. Why? Because they only had about 13 offices. 13 or 14 offices, somewhere like that, around that, in the world. Okay? They only had about, I don't know, eight or nine offices in America, maybe something like that. 4 or 5 offices globally. So you may say, okay, well, so what? Well, I can't speak for now. I don't know now because, there's a lot that's happened since that time. But Merrill Lynch would have like thousands of offices, okay? Thousands. So Bear Stearns, for instance, they only had like, say, I don't know, maybe just a couple of hundred, let's say 300 brokers or so, financial advisors, whatever. Bear Stearns, they didn't have the term financial advisor because it was different. It was if you're doing that work at Bear Stearns, you're doing institutional work. You can do anything you want, basically. That was the great thing about Bear Stearns. You could do any type of work. You can't do that at other firms. You can do it to some degree at Lehman and Goldman, but no other firms. But anyway, my point is that there was no trading arm. Bear Stearns was doing clearing business for hedge funds, right? It's a huge clearing firm. They're known as a trading firm. That's Bear Stearns. It was known as a trading firm. They didn't even there was no financial advisor designation at Bear Stearns. Okay, like Payne Weber, UBS, Morgan Stanley. If you're a broker, you're a financial advisor, right? Bear Stearns didn't have that. That's how it was structured. It was structured more in terms of trading and institutional business, okay? So my point is that there was no fucking trading arm. Bear Stearns was a trading firm. Bear Stearns controlled 40% of the short interest of the New York Stock Exchange on a daily basis. That's how influential the firm was and how much they dealt with hedge funds. Okay? That's why JP Morgan was drooling to get Bear Stearns. Okay, so there's no fucking trading arm. That's just stupid. Anybody that would say that didn't work there. It's just obvious. So you can see here also, he holds a medical degree and he practices medicine. You see what I told you? So when you read that, what do you think? I mean, to me, I'm thinking, okay, you're a physician. No. So why would you understand? Why wouldn't he say, oh, I'm a physician's assistant? Why? Because he wants you to think that he's, higher up on the food chain than he really is. The other thing is, let me just mention this as well. I didn't mention this earlier. So supposedly he worked at Bear Stearns. Okay, think about this. As on the trading floor, supposedly. Okay. After that, he became a nurse, a a PA, a physician's assistant, right? Does that make sense? I mean, who does that? Why would you go from being on the trading floor, trading arm, a trader, like you claim, and then you go to school to become a physician's assistant? It doesn't work. I mean, what? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Complete. It's just so funny. Anyway. And so this is interesting. This, you can see this. These images were taken many years ago. They're in my files. You can see, and most of you probably don't know the relevance of this, but these people on the side, so you can see these are people who also viewed, when they viewed him, they also viewed these people. These people on the side are like hucksters. They're like con artists, scammers. Okay? Probably there's nobody here that knows this first person. Well, not the first picture. I've already told you who Greg Hunter is, right? Second person is this guy, Fabian Calvo. He sounded like the Bugs Bunny Martian guy. This guy, he might still be on YouTube, but he's pretty much not active. This guy I called this guy out, exposed this guy like 15 years ago as a fraud. And I think he got just humiliated and he kind of shut down his business. He was trying to exploit the whole gold pumping thing. He was a real estate guy. He was a fraud. And he kind of just, kind of faded away. He was a pretty well-known guy at the time. A scammer. Oh, folks, I'm just telling you, I've been around. This is why I know YouTube is a complete portal of fucking scams. Don't even think, well, there's no one legitimate on YouTube. That's a fact. Nobody running a channel is legitimate on YouTube. Okay? Now, are there any exceptions? Okay. Let's say if they're a professor and they have their lectures on their, on you. Okay. Okay. But that's for what? That's for the purpose of having the lectures for their students. You see what I'm saying? But nobody who has a YouTube channel, a regular channel, they're all fucking scammers. I'm telling you right now. And I'm not just talking about the investment genre. We're talking about these travel vloggers. They're all fucking everybody. I've been around long enough to see it all. I'm telling you. Once again, it's a fucking poison. It's a disease. People get infested. Some people don't start off this way. It just ends up that way. They see the money and they want more and more. Okay. So who's the other guy? You have Gerald Celente, absolute fraud. Go in right now and search for these terms, these words. Put in Gerald Celente, futurist fraud. Okay, he's an absolute fraudster, an Alex Jones regular. He's one of these. He doesn't say anything. Oh yeah, it's a terrible. Get my trends journal. He's also in the gold pumping circuit. Anyway, these guys were like big 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, okay, when the gold pumping circuit was huge. And, of course, you can see Peter Schiff there, Mark Faber, Ron Paul, all gold pumping circuit. Now, you might notice, look at the gold pumping circuit now, because gold is doing well, that the gold pumping circuit it's kind of revitalized, but it's nowhere, trust me, nowhere near as strong as it was 10, 15 years ago. There's no comparison. And one of the reasons for that is because cryptocurrencies have taken the gusto away. And I actually love it. I love the fact that Peter Schiff and all these other gold kingpins, they tried so hard for so many years to achieve what the cryptocurrency industry did. And that is the gold pumpers, they wanted to get everybody buying gold, you see? Because that's how you increase the price of gold. If you get everybody to believe your bullshit narrative, then everyone's going to buy gold and the price is going to go, it's going to soar, right? The gold pumpers failed. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it, right? Gold peaked out right after the financial crisis, into 2010. After that, it was down. It collapsed. It was down. It didn't even make a new high until, a year ago, 2 years ago, right? Took all that time. And what did it take? It took a landmark, unprecedented event, the coronavirus pandemic, right? So, on the other hand, the cryptocurrency space, they've gotten people, they've made it mainstream. A lot of people have it. So they achieved what these goals. So I love it. I think it's fucking hilarious that the cryptocurrency, and you all know I think crypto's a scam. It's fucking bullshit. But I fucking love the fact that the cryptocurrency industry, because there are people that, although most of the people in cryptocurrencies now, they are, they're in it for the gambling, but there's still people that believe in it, right? That see utility in it, and of course there's the kingpins of crypto, which are spreading propaganda. The guys making all the money, right? In fact, I should show you guys the image. Should show you all that image. But in gold, on the other hand, there's not. With gold, you've got kingpins who just want to exploit people and charge those commissions, right? And all the other scams. And then the minions that believe all the bullshit. You see? So in other words, there's really not any utility for gold and silver. Is there a utility for cryptocurrency? Not as much as there was, but you could argue, yeah, there kind of is. Okay? There is something, right? What? Basically a way to protect your assets against a divorce, okay? Or if the government's going to come after your assets, or a lawsuit, right? That's about it in terms of something legitimate, okay? I mean, gold, you could say, well, gold is too. It's not that practical. But the bottom line is that, gold has always been historically used for money laundering, no doubt about it, okay? In fact, it's still massively used. There was a case I heard about. It's pretty funny. Probably nobody knows this. Even locals don't know this. But in Vietnam, which is a big gold country, Asia, they buy gold for tradition and safety and so forth. Why? Because their banks are, you can imagine in Asia, their banking system is, it's not as reliable. But in Vietnam, they actually sell gold at a price that's 10 to 20% higher than the global price. And I don't think Vietnamese know that. It's sold actually higher. So basically, if you're buying gold in Vietnam, you better sell it in Vietnam, because actually it's the resale, the markup is actually not bad. The margins are actually pretty slim, even if you resell jewelry. Okay, there was something that happened about a month ago. I think it was, 30, 40 million, could be more. 30, 40 million dollars was smuggled of gold. 30, 40 million dollars of gold, I don't know the exact amount, was smuggled from Cambodia into Vietnam. And the people that smuggled it got arrested. And I'm thinking, like, okay, so why did they get arrested? It didn't really say anything. Like, maybe it's their gold, right? Well, the reason why they smuggled it or brought it over, I guess, they didn't declare, they didn't go through the proper. The reason why they got arrested and the reason why they smuggled is because, think about it. They can sell it for a higher price. You see? They're instantly going to make 10 to 20% selling it in Vietnam. You see? So anyway. Yeah, I've got a picture here. Should I show the crypto picture? I'm going to show it in another video. Take a look. Here's some of the crypto kingpins. Can you spot a common link, by the way? Is there one thing they all have in common? by the way, wink, fucking wink. Okay. And so this proves to you, by the way, this is not all the players, but, you know, Wall Street runs crypto, folks. Okay? They run crypto. I'm not going to get into that, but anyway. Get back to the main topic of discussion here. So you can see he preaches the same story. He holds a medical degree and he practices medicine. Okay? And he's published on virtually every financial website on the world and many thousands of loyal followers around the world. Fucking clown. Here's something this is from, I think, let's see, several years ago. Okay, you can see, read the title here. You know, doom and gloom, debt and currency crisis that will rock the earth, right? Pump and dump wealth transfer coming soon. Silver bottom, get physical while you still can. You might want to check some of these. This Financial Liberty is another fucking gold pumping scam channel. They'll have his videos, I'm sure, from when they interview him. So here's another chart that I didn't really follow this guy. I checked his bullshit. I could tell it's like a contrarian indicator. So he basically told you here's his long list and his short list, right? The chart above shows what happened. So he says to go long, VXS, what happened? It collapsed. Into short, I guess buy puts on these stocks. What happened? Nothing. So time decay, they fucking expire, worthless. Fucking idiots. The Robin Hood of Wall Street. Here's another scammer, actually, who called himself, I think, something similar to that. And, you know, he was also promoted by Brian Rose. I think he paid Brian Rose. It's back 2010, 2011. By the way, I think Brian Rose's channel is gone, I think. London Real, I looked for it. It's gone, is it not? I think so. What's the guy's name? I exposed him a long time ago, another fraud. But anyway, so take a look. A narrated ebook, How to Become Debt-Free and Beyond Success. So you see who he's trying to target here? This is kind of a Meet Kevin approach, right? Go for the lowest hanging fruit, right? I mean, think about people who are in debt and they can't get out of debt. They need someone to tell them, you know, to stop spending and start saving. These are people that they have severe problems in this world, in their life, right? They're obviously easy to sucker. Oh, latest video. Okay, let's read what he has here. So let's take a look. Please support my work. PayPal me. Use Stripe. Support my work with crypto. He's also a crypto pumper. Free newsletter. Folks, take a look. Go ahead. It's free. Market risk indicator. The best on the planet. Okay. Let's listen. What does he have to say?
Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. Thursday, September 5th, 2024. I really hope you can see this video. You know what happened yesterday. We're going to cover all that. In fact, I'm going to recap what we covered in yesterday's video in case you missed it. So don't worry about it. All right. Very interesting things going on here. So I'm going to advise you to save this video to your computer. Share it. Get it out there as far and wide as you can.
So, of course, This is a guy who doesn't really tell you anything ever, by the way. It's just something bad is coming or the market's going to collapse. The Fed's doing this. It's conspiratorial horseshit. And he's using the Alex Jones approach. This is what he's been doing for years. Telling you something really important, share the video. Something really important. Basically, he just wants to recruit new stooges to his channel. You understand? The guy's a fraud. Anyway, let's listen to what he's going to say.
We are experiencing exactly what we knew we would, pushback. They, you know who they are pushing back. We hit the mark yesterday so hard. So hard.
What the fuck are you talking about,
But I tell you, they can't stand the truth. It drives them crazy, so they had to take down the video. I was given no clear explanation as to why that video was taken down. I think we all have a really good idea.
This guy's channel should have been taken down a long time ago with his you all saw, right? Millions are going to die. Here's USA Watchdog, by the way. So if you want to see a collection of horseshit fraudsters, scam artists, you can go through. His site's been up for many years. I don't know to what extent he has archives. He probably doesn't have a lot of archives because, these broke dick motherfuckers, they have it like a fucking shitty ass WordPress website and shit. There's nothing there. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of archives going too far, but you can always go on Wayback Machine. See what they have here. Once again, this guy's a gold pumper. He interviews all the, he gets paid. Martin Armstrong, this guy's a fraud. He's an illiterate fraud. I'm going to do some features on this guy. I already did a live stream on him. Okay, absolute fraud. He's also someone that he dupes people. He's a gold pumper, so he attracts the low IQ idiots. His conspiracy horse shit. Absolute fraudster. This is a guy, by the way. You can, by the way, as a exercise, you might want to start investigating Martin Armstrong yourself. I'll go ahead and give you some tips. Basically, this is going to help you a lot. Basically, this guy, number one, he's always name dropping, like important names, like he knows them. He's always telling you how, like every time he's interviewed, it's always an opportunity for him to tell you that, oh, well, the Fed they asked his opinion. It's all complete fiction. You'll notice this. He's been doing this for years. The other thing is that he'll never really say anything. It's just word salad. Like, oh, Martin, he's supposed to be a market forecaster. Okay, well, Martin, tell us something. He never really comes out and tells you specific actionable things. He always talks about, in history and politics, and it's just a complete fucking bullshit artist. And take a look. He's gone to the extent now he has to use the fucking scam of the monitors in the background. This is a guy who spent jail time in prison for a Ponzi scheme. Okay? He duped Japanese investors. Why? How did he do that? If he's so stupid, listen to the guy talk. He's not even barely a high school grad. Folks, he was promoted by Bloomberg because, he's a special guy. You understand? He's got the privilege. You understand? And it ain't fucking white we're talking about. Okay? They promoted his ass. And he predicted now that he didn't. It's horse shit. If you believe what the media says about these frauds, you're a sucker. Okay? So the naive Japanese believe this shit, apparently. And they invested in this guy, and he lost their money. He's a Patrick Boyle guy. He was trading commodities, and he got his ass bruised, blown up. He tried to cover up from his trades by creating a Ponzi scheme. Okay? So the first thing is that when you're coming across, let me just mention, when you're coming across someone who's a commodities trader, they don't know anything about anything. Okay? They don't know shit. They don't know valuation analysis. They don't know anything. You understand what I'm saying? They're dealing with commodities. That's just complete short-term trading. You're looking at fucking news stories and, right? Technical analysis. And now all of a sudden, Martin Armstrong is some world authority market forecaster. It's complete horseshit. He's been exposed. You can look it up. Matter of fact, his fake algorithm is exposed so much I think he stopped doing it. The guy's an absolute fraud. He pays hundreds of people to post fake reviews, fake comments about him online. You name it. The guy's an absolute fraud. Anyway, I'll go over him. I don't know if I released the preliminary live stream on him or not. I do have it, though. I will release it. He's a gold pumper, you know, and he's part of that whole crowd. Complete fucking scam artist. That's what you're going to find on this channel, by the way. Nothing but scammers. Okay? Charles Nenner. Another guy. So, oh, Charles Nenner, he's former Goldman Sachs. This is one of the worst market forecasters in the history of the world. I can't decide if it's Martin Armstrong or this guy. I mean, these guys are, believe it or not, they're even worse than Harry Dent. I exposed this guy a long time ago. Okay? These guys are contrarian indicators. Do the opposite. And of course, you know, he's a privileged guy. You know, you just go through. This is funny. Let's see how far the archives go. I mean, if you want to, folks, if you want to find the list of scammers, just take a look at the kingpins. Like I showed you Patrick Bet-David's channel, right? Oh, I found another one, by the way. Let me show you guys. When you see a guy with a picture like this,
you talk about performance without.
What is this? You see this? He's obviously a scammer. Okay? You see this? Take a look at the channel. Take a look at who he's interviewing. This is why it's important to have an idea about some of the scammers out there. So, you got Eric Weinstein. This guy is a scammer. He's part of the whole intellectual dark web. You know, the COVID conspiracy horseshit. He's in the Joe Rogan circle jerk, right? Who else? Alex Hormozy. There you go. Folks, you understand what I'm talking about? So the more you get familiar, is this his wife? I think it's his wife. The more you get familiar with these scammers, the more you're going to see they're appearing on all these channels. You think it's a fucking coincidence? It's not. You understand? Dan Bilzerian, there you go. You understand? Alex Hormozy again. Obviously, this Williamson, he's getting paid to promote these people. Okay? He's getting paid, and he's not telling people. This is a fucking PR. And, of course, notice who's on this channel. It's just scammers. It's all scammers. Okay? Folks, you started to see how it works. Okay? You started to see how it works. Patrick Bet-David. Let's go through and take a look at his channel again. Right? If you want to see the army of scammers, to take a look at Patrick Bet-David's channel, you'll see it. Okay? Robert Kiyosaki, he's going to have some on there, but he's not going to be as much as Patrick Bet-David because Robert Kiyosaki is more about himself. You see, Robert Kiyosaki's been around a long time. He's living off this fake persona that he's created through many years. So he doesn't need this. Patrick Bet-David is trying to expand his whole reach, his MLM horseshit, because he appeared on the scene recently, right? So he's going to be interviewing all these people because he's building his network. So I don't know who these people are, but I'll guarantee to you they're scammers. Guaranteed. Why? Because they're on his channel. Okay? You can see Bilzerian. And I'm sure a lot of these people are on Joe Rogan. You just check. Do it. I mean, if you go and check and see, get familiar with the names, you'll see they keep appearing on many of the same channels. Okay? And it's kind of like, Brian Rose was doing the same thing, by the way. I think his channel's gone. Let's take a look. London Real. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. And so, and once again, Patrick Bet-David paid, for people to come on his show to interview. That's what you do. You pay people until you get a large enough following, and then you get people that want to come on your show. And you also can charge people to come on your show. You see? Patrick Bet-David's making his money on YouTube, by the way. That's fact. Let him know. Folks, these guys are afraid of me. They would never fucking go up against me one-on-one on a neutral platform. You understand? Because they don't want, to be exposed by me. I know their whole fucking song and dance. I mean, think about it. Who's going to fucking go up against me? Nobody. Okay? Jordan Peterson. Now, Jordan Peterson is the biggest fucking sissy. He's the biggest scaredy cat. That's impossible. There's no way. You couldn't pay him. Okay? So you can just go through these channels and see that. When you find these guys, these self-help type of guys, self-help is a scam. Another Tony Robbins scam. What's that guy? Is it Tom Bilyeu? It's Tom. And of course his wife, Lisa, she's got her own little channel. In fact, he's got this whole thing. Of course, Raoul Paul. I went over this guy's a complete fraud, complete scam artist. Same thing on his channel as well, right? Circle jerk. This Tom guy, he's in the Joe Rogan Circle Jerk. He was promoted by Joe Rogan.
Let me ask.
And so, he's a successful guy. Oh, I built this nutrition and I made all this money. Oh, really? If you really did, what the fuck are you doing spending your whole fucking time on YouTube making stupid ass videos, and you got your self-help fucking coaching bullshit? You understand? Folks, do you think that people with money that are successful are making these scammy ass bullshit companies? They're not. Trust me. Okay? They're not. Fucking scammer. They're lying. See, they can make up any story that they want. They can make up any story that they want. In other words, let me just give you an example. I can build a company and I can sell it for $1 billion. Okay? But guess what? I owed, the debt on it was $300 million, and there were investors that owned, everything. I ended up walking away with $1 million, $2 million. You understand? Okay? These guys are on YouTube trying to fucking swindle people for a reason, because they're broke dick motherfuckers. They're making all their money off YouTube. It's fake it till you make it. Fake it till you fucking make it. Okay? Oh, yeah. This is a guy I'm going to eventually get to. Tim Ferriss, scam artist. Fake it till you make it. Fraudster. Tell him I said so. Tell him I said so. Tell all these motherfuckers. Say, well, this guy says you're a fraud. And he wants to go up against you on a neutral platform. What do you say about that? Absolute fraud. Look into these guys, folks. Okay. Of course, he's going to have the Michael Lewis. He's going to have these, the stupid horseshit people on here. Establishment. Tony Robbins, So what Ferriss is trying to do, by the way, he's trying to kind of make, he's trying to, because he's a swindler. Tim Ferriss is a fucking scam artist, swindler. So now that he's made all his money, he's trying to kind of make it like a serious podcaster and stuff after he's fucked everybody. You understand? Now you're a fraud, dude. You're a complete piece of trash. That's what you are. Anyway, let's get back to Mannarino. Look at that. So this is 2 days ago. He's still at it. Bank runs are coming. Liquidity crisis. Vastly expanding debt. Right? I mean, does this seem like a legitimate former Wall Street guy to you? Or a lunatic who's basically fueling the gold pumping narratives, right? Expect a rapid and devastating systemic meltdown. Warning, we the people demand return to constitutional money. Okay, gold money. Okay, right? You see this? Oh, God. Central bank. I mean, you just go through and read these titles. This guy, in fact, what you might want to do, he's doing a Tom Nash. Tom Nash, what these guys do is they'll go back to their oldest, and Tom Nash will continuously delete older videos. You can, folks, I'm telling you, save these videos. Save Tom Nash's videos. I'm telling you. Okay. But so let's go back. Oldest videos back when? 7 years ago. I mean, look, the same thing. Alert! More than ever, become your own central bank. Buy gold, right? Do I need to really go over the guy anymore? Do I need to? Right? I mean, think about it, folks. You've got this horse shit brainwashing people, causing people to lose money. They're scared shitless. How is this worse than making a statement that's true, that has a credible basis to it, just because, well, they're going to call it hate speech? You can't talk about, well, unless you happen to be one of them, like Dan Bilzerian or Patrick Bet-David. What's going on? You can scam the fuck out of everybody, but you can't say things that are relevant and important to know. I can't talk about how I was discriminated against. I was racially discriminated against by a certain ethnicity. I can't say that. Why is that? That's hate speech? I'm the fucking victim here. But you can scam everybody. You can promote pedophilia. Let's take a look, actually. Let's take a look just to show you YouTube, what a criminal platform. Sexy teen girls. Okay, what do they have? What do they have? Okay. See that? How old does that girl look? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, let's take a look at this. Sex positions. They used to allow, I think they don't do it, they used to allow girls using their, what's that machine called, that vibrating machine, that big machine? They would show that on YouTube. I kid you not. Of course, YouTube's going to say, well, it's educational, right? Okay. So, look at this. Look at this. Now, now they're not going to let you comment. They used to let people comment, and there's all these pedophiles saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay. You actually think that there's not pedophiles that are looking at these videos and getting sexual gratification out of this? I know there are, because I used to read the comments. If I hadn't seen the comments, I would never have thought that was possible. But I'm telling you right now, folks, this is what's going on. Okay? I mean, what the fuck is this doing on YouTube? You go and watch these videos and see for yourself. Why do you think YouTube disabled the comments after I fucking complained a lot of time, because they don't want people to know. They don't want the world to see that there's pedophiles not only, watching, but leaving all types of bullshit comments. You see? You understand? By blocking the comments on these adolescent channels, people don't know what's in the minds of the audience that's watching. You understand? Why doesn't YouTube just block it? Not allow any of this shit. I mean, look at this. It's fucking disgusting. Let's show you here. Let's take a look at some hooker bars. Live stream hooker bars. Are they live streaming now? Let me explain to you folks what goes on here. Soy 6 is a street that's known where you can have sex in the bars. You can go and have sex in the bars in Pattaya, Thailand. Okay? All the girls that work at these bars are prostitutes. Prostitution is, well, it's a gray area of legality in Thailand. It just depends upon certain things. But one thing is for certain, these bars are illegal. All the bars are paid, they pay off the police. In fact, I have evidence of that. Look at these live streams, by the way. Let me show you here. How long? So you got, and by the way, this is trafficking. This is human trafficking. Look at this, 10-hour live stream. Why is it 10 hours? These girls are having to sit there for 10 hours. Why? People are tipping them. Okay? You've got sick, disgusting pedophiles. This is human trafficking. Okay? If you don't know what human trafficking is, you should look up the definition. These girls are basically held captive there, maybe not forcibly, but psychologically. Think about this. Why is this being permitted? You get all types of channels like this, folks. Okay? Anyway.
And I'm going to do something here I have never done before.
Anyway, I'm not going to cover this guy anymore. This guy obviously a fucking scam artist, a fraud, Gregory Mannarino. Nothing more needs to be said. Okay? Folks, do yourself a favor. You're gonna get the answers right. Have you ever taken a test and gotten all the answers correct? Well, I'm going to give you a test, and I'm going to give you the potential to get all the answers correct. The test is determine if there's any legitimate people talking about investments on YouTube. If you answer no every time, then you're going to get a 100% correct score on your test. Okay, so don't say, oh, well, how about this guy? They're all fucking full of shit. Okay? They're all full of shit. They're clueless. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? And by the way, one more thing let me just mention. Okay? These fuckers, they can actually show you, if they wanted to, they can give you access to their investment account. They can give you limited access. Okay? Limited access. They won't do it. They won't do it. Okay? They can give you access. You can log in and you won't be able to do anything, but you can see the account. That's really the only way. And even then, it's not fully 100% because they can have different accounts. Let me explain to you how the scammers work. What they'll do is they'll have several different accounts, right? Several different strategies. So what they'll do is they'll select the strategy that worked, and they'll use that one as their track record, maybe, perhaps. You understand? You see? But you don't know how many brokerage accounts they have. That's why you've got to look at the entire tax return as well. You see? I'm just telling you, folks, no one legitimate's on YouTube. Okay? No one legitimate's on YouTube. You can think whatever you want.